Sales development reps, email outreach tips. Why SDR email outreach still wins in 2025. SDRs live and die by their inbox, and in 2025, cold email is still the most reliable way to start B2B conversations at scale when it's done correctly. In fact, 61% of decision makers say they prefer an initial cold email over LinkedIn or a cold call, which is exactly why modern SDR teams need to treat email outreach like a core revenue system, not a side task. The problem is that most programs are running at average performance. Hunter reports an average reply rate of 4.1%, and many teams hover in the broader 3 to 5.1% band. That gap between average and elite is where pipeline is won or lost, and it's why the best SDRs focus on process, targeting, and deliverability instead of chasing one more template. At SalesHive, we've seen the same pattern across thousands of outbound programs. When list quality, infrastructure, and personalization are disciplined, results compound quickly. Whether you're building an internal SDR motion or partnering with a sales development agency or outsourced sales team, the fundamentals below are what separate "we sent emails" from "we booked meetings." Know the numbers, what good looks like, and what it doesn't. A useful reality check. Across millions of cold emails, average opens sit around 27.7%, while conversion to deals is roughly 0.2%, about one deal per 500 emails. That's why obsessing over volume or opens alone is a trap. The teams that build pipeline optimize for replies, positive replies, and meetings booked. Benchmarks help you diagnose what's broken. If opens are low, you likely have a deliverability or targeting issue. If opens are fine but replies are weak, your offer, relevance, and CTA need work. If replies are okay but meetings are low, qualification and routing are the bottleneck. The goal isn't to hit a vanity metric. It's to build a predictable reply-to-meeting engine. Here's a practical benchmark table SDR leaders can use for coaching and forecasting based on published 2024 to 2025 analyses and what we see in real outbound programs. Deliverability. Your sequence can't work if it can't land. In 2025, deliverability is no longer someone else's job. Gmail and Yahoo have tightened expectations for bulk senders, and SDR teams need to treat authentication and compliance like part of quota attainment. If SPF, DKIM, and DMARC aren't set up correctly, your messages may quietly route to spam or get throttled no matter how good the copy is. The easiest way to protect your program is to think like a cold email agency. Separate outbound sending from your primary domain, warm up new domains and inboxes gradually, and keep your list hygiene strict. A clean list reduces bounces, protects reputation, and prevents you from burning a domain that took weeks to establish. The non-negotiable metric to watch is complaints. Gmail and Yahoo's rules expect spam complaint rates under 0.3%, and Google guidance often references staying under 0.1%, which means relevance is a deliverability strategy, not just a copy strategy. If your replies include lots of "stop spamming me," that's an early warning sign your targeting and segmentation need tightening. Targeting and personalization, the fastest way to beat average reply rates. Most SDR teams try to copyright their way out of a list problem. A better approach is to start with micro-segmentation and only email people who can plausibly care. Hunter's data is blunt. Campaigns with 50 or fewer recipients average about 5.8% replies versus roughly 2.1% for 1,000-plus blasts. A 2.7x lift driven primarily by relevance. Personalization should do real work, not just fill merge fields. Personalized subject lines can lift opens by up to 26%, and emails with personalized content are reported as 22% more likely to be opened. Useful leverage when you're competing with a crowded inbox. The best personalization anchors on a trigger, hiring, funding, tooling changes, expansion, and connects it to an outcome the prospect is measured on. If your SDR team is overloaded, this is where sales outsourcing can be a strategic move instead of a cost move. As a B2B sales agency and SDR agency, we pair high-quality list-building services with AI-assisted research, so each message includes a concrete reason it's being sent to that person at that company right now, without burning reps on hours of manual prep. The best cold emails don't sound clever. They sound inevitable. The right message to the right person at the right time with a clear next step. Write like a human. Short, clear emails that earn replies. Once your list and deliverability are in place, the writing should feel simple. A relevant opener, a problem statement in the prospect's language, one credibility line, and a low-friction CTA. Across common B2B analyses, the sweet spot is typically short. Many teams see stronger performance in the 50 to 125 word range, while top performers often live around 100 to 150 words because it's long enough to be specific but still fast to read. Subject lines are not where you get creative. The most consistent winners look like a real person wrote them and can be processed in a glance, often in the 3 to 7 word range. The goal is to signal relevance and reduce perceived effort, not to tease or sound like marketing. A common mistake we fix when teams hire SDRs quickly is over-explaining. If your first email includes a feature dump, multiple links, or several asks, your reply rate will usually collapse back toward the market average. The best SDRs earn the reply with one clear point and one clear question, then handle depth in the follow-up conversation. Sequencing and follow-ups, where most meetings actually come from. Many SDRs still treat the first email as the whole play. In reality, most replies come from follow-ups, especially when your first touch is intentionally brief. One published analysis found that adding just one follow-up can increase total replies by about 49%, yet roughly 48% of reps still don't send a single follow-up, which is a massive self-inflicted pipeline leak. Strong sequences feel consistent and respectful, the same core message reframed with one new angle each time. Instead of just bumping this, add something useful, an observation about their role, a relevant trigger, or a quick example of how similar teams improved outcomes. This approach works whether you're running pure email or combining it with LinkedIn outreach services and light call touches from a cold calling team. If you're operating as an outbound sales agency or building your internal motion like one, you'll also set expectations with the business. A sequence is a system, not a single send. The SDR's job is to run that system with discipline, spacing, deliverability guardrails, and clean opt-outs, so the program can scale without getting punished by mailbox providers. Operational discipline, KPIs, testing, and the mistakes that kill performance. The fastest way to stay average is to optimize for the wrong metric. Opens are increasingly noisy, privacy changes, filtering, and prefetching. So SDR leaders should prioritize reply rate, positive reply rate, and meeting booked rate as the core KPIs. When your North Star is meetings, decisions around list quality, messaging, and sequencing become much clearer. Testing should be simple and controlled. Change one variable at a time, run tests inside tight segments, and keep your sample sizes honest. Too many teams A/B test 3 subject lines, 2 bodies, and 3 CTAs at once, then draw conclusions from a handful of sends. That isn't optimization, it's storytelling. The most damaging mistakes we see, whether in-house or in outsourced B2B sales, are avoidable. Sending to unverified lists, ramping volume too fast on new domains, ignoring negative reply sentiment, and asking for 30 minutes from a stranger. If you treat deliverability, segmentation, and measurement as part of the SDR role, not admin work, you'll consistently outperform the 4 to 5% reply rate crowd. Next steps: building a repeatable SDR program with or without outsourcing. The playbook for 2025 is straightforward. Protect deliverability, shrink segments, personalize around real triggers, keep emails short, and follow up with intent. When those pieces are in place, it's realistic to move from the market's 4.1% average reply rate into the 8 to 10% range and beyond without sending more emails. If your team can't execute consistently, partnering with a specialized cold email agency or SDR agency is often faster than trying to rebuild everything while still carrying quota. SalesHive is a US-based B2B lead generation agency founded in 2016, and we run end-to-end outbound that includes list building, copy, sequencing, deliverability, and appointment setting so your AEs can stay focused on demos and closes. For teams that also want phones covered, our cold calling services can complement email without turning your motion into spray and pray. Whether you're scaling with an internal team, deciding to hire SDRs, or exploring sales outsourcing with an outsourced sales team, treat outbound as an operational system. If you want a quick diagnostic, start by answering 3 questions. Are we landing in the inbox? Are we relevant to the segment? And do we have a sequence that earns responses over time? When the answers are yes, the meetings follow.